Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on June 24th, 2017. I have 7 strategies with my game Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. Alright, so it represents all 69 of the white ball numbers. Okay, so my system has really nothing to do with the Powerball itself. What I'm trying to do is guess the 5 white numbers. Alright, so if you do that, the prize with the power play is $2 million. Okay, so that's my goal for this game. Alright, so how things work real quick is when the drawing goes off, I put it at the very top here, and I line it up with my color code here. Okay, so the last 3 drawings, I make red numbers. Okay, and after that, it's orange, green, blue, and purple. All right, so there's 5 white numbers in the Powerball lottery, so I have 5 different colors, 1 color to represent each Powerball number. Okay, so there's 15 red, 15 orange, 10 green, 14 blue, 15 purple for this drawing. It changes every single drawing. Okay, so how things work real quick. All right, you can see that I have this color grid over here. This is my color code. Okay, so the last drawings that came up, I make red numbers like this 14. You can see on the game card it's 14, red. Okay, so I have 5 different colors because there's 5 different white Powerball numbers. All right, so I got red, orange, green, blue, and purple. All right, so there's been 141 color code drawings. All right, so the majority have been 3 colors. 78 out of the 141 have come up 3 colors like this last drawing. Okay, so you can see that there's 3 colors here. Okay, so hardly ever do all 5 colors come up. So I try to guess which one of the colors won't be coming up. And for this drawing, I believe it's going to be blue that won't be coming up. So what I do is I eliminate the blue numbers off of the game card like this. And when I block out a number like this, this means that I don't believe that it's going to come up in the drawing. Okay, so off to the next strategy. Okay, so you can see I blocked out the blue numbers here. Okay, so when I block out a number, that means that I don't believe that it's going to come up in this drawing. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so here the individual numbers, how things work here is the master of all the numbers is at the very top. Okay, and over to the right is the last drawing. Okay, so you can see it was 14, 46, 61, 65, and 68. Okay, and they're colored because of the color code. Okay, so you can find the 68 right here at the very top and work your way down. Okay, and I marked it green because the 68 was green. Okay, and over here is how many groups it hit. So this last drawing hit 3 groups. Okay, so with this, with my individual numbers here, I've broken things down into 7 groups. Okay, and just remember that there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers here. So 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so I tried to predict which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it, and I eliminate that off of the game card. So for this drawing, I believe that the 60s won't be able to be coming up on the this coming drawing. So again, I'm going to eliminate all the 60 numbers off of the game card. Okay, folks, so this is what the game card looks like so far. All right, again, I eliminated all the blue numbers and I eliminated all the 60 numbers. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, the 50-50 pick. Okay, so here in the 50-50 picks, how this works is I keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, so there's 5 white winning Powerball numbers here. So there's going to be a majority of either more odd numbers or more even numbers. Okay, so I keep track of that every 5 drawings. All right, so for this 5 drawings, the majority of the numbers were odd numbers. Okay, odds, 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 evens, evens, evens. Okay, so for this 5 coming up, the majority is already even numbers. Okay, so I'm going to predict that the even number keeps on going here. So I'm going to predict for this next drawing, there will be more even numbers than odd numbers. Okay, so I also keep track of high and low numbers. Okay, so for this drawing, I'm going to predict that there's going to be more high numbers than low numbers. Okay, and I have another one left and right here, and also red and blue. So for left and right, I'm going to predict that there's going to be more numbers to the right side than the left side. And I'm going to predict that there's going to be more numbers to this blue area than the red area. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so how this group 1 works is I divided the numbers into 4 different color groups, and I keep stats on these groups. Okay, so for the last drawing, the numbers were 14, 65, 46, 61, and 68. Okay, so there was a number in all 4 of these color groups. Okay, so over on this one, there was 2 numbers in the red area and 3 numbers in the orange area. Okay, so there's no numbers in the blue and no numbers in the green. So what I tried to do is I tried to predict where these zeros are going to be. Okay, and if I'm correct in my guess, then I can eliminate a bunch of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards here, so I try to pick one where the zero is going to come up. So for this one, I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. And the reason why is because a lot of time these zeros will double up here, and you can see for the green column, all these single zeros here. Okay, it's finally here, so we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 single zeros in a row. So I just think that there's going to be another 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I eliminated the numbers off of the game card. Alright, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 5, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so this is my group 2 numbers. Okay, so you can see that I divided all the numbers into 8 different groups. Okay, and again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so how it works is I keep stats of these different groups right down here. Okay, so I'll single out the red area here. So you can see this is a 0. That means that none of the 5 white winning Powerballs landed in this red area. And 2 means, of course, that 2 of the winning Powerballs landed in this red area. So for the last drawing, there was 1 number in the red area, and that was the 65. Okay, so how this works is the 65 shares the square with the 25. Okay, so you can see the 25 is off to the side here. Okay, so if I decide to eliminate this red area because I think that there's going to be a 0 here, what I'm saying is I'm going to eliminate all these numbers, including the 25. Okay? Okay, so try not to get too confused or overwhelmed what I'm doing here. Basically, all I'm doing is keeping track of groups of numbers, and sometimes I eliminate numbers off of this game card here. Okay? So some of these numbers need to share the square so I can have a nice even grid of 64. Okay, so I'll go over this real quick on how it works. All right, so down here in the stats, I keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, so that way I can have a majority. Okay, so you can see that there was 3 zeros here. Okay, I call them misses. All right, so if there's 3 or more zeros, I color it blue for cold. If there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so we'll go to the Powerball homepage. You can see that the numbers were 14, 46, 61, 65, and 68. Okay, so down here, you can see that the 65 was red. Okay, the 68 was blue. The 14 was brown. the 46 was brown, and the 61 was purple. Okay, so I got red, blue, purple, and 2 brown. So down here I got red, blue, purple, and 2 brown. All right, so you can see the stats right here. All right, so what I'm trying to do here is try to predict where the 0 is going to be. Okay, so this is where this helps me out here. So I'm down to the last one here, number 5, and now I'm going to try to predict whether this area is going to be red or blue. Okay, so for me, I think that it's going to be blue. So I'm going to eliminate all the red numbers off of the game card here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so here's the game card, and you can see I eliminated all the red area numbers here, plus the 25, because it shares the square with the 65. Okay, so that's what I mean by eliminating groups of numbers. Okay, so this is option card number 2 in group 2. I have 15 of these option cards. So another thing that helps me make a decision on where the 0 is going to be, I have this area over here to the right. Okay, so this tells me how many columns were hit when the 5 winning Powerball numbers come up. Okay, so for this one, again, the numbers were 14 blue, 65 green, 46 brown, 61 and 68 yellow. Okay, so it was blue, green, brown, and 2 yellow. So here you can see the blue, green, brown, 2 yellow. Okay, so 4 columns got hit, and the majority was over here to the right side. Okay, so when that happens, I colored the 4 green. Okay, so if the majority's over here on the left side, I would color it red. Okay, so for this drawing, I'm going to predict that this is going to be another green number. Okay, so I think the majority of the numbers will be over here to the right side. Okay, and this is the right side right here. So again, I think there's going to be more high numbers than low numbers. All right, so I'm going to predict that this red area will have another 0 to it. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the red numbers off of the game card. So as I go to the game card here, all right, I'll eliminate what is left, and the 8 and the 66 share this square, but you can see that they're both gone anyway. So I'll eliminate these numbers, and I'll keep on moving on. Okay, so I came up with another thing to help me decide where 0 is going to be. Okay, so I want to point out this red area again. All right, so I look at the past history of things of what this column looks like here. All right, so you can see that there's a long line of hits, and then there's a 0. So I came up with this area here. Okay, has the red and blue areas, and I'll get to the red area here. Okay, so here's all the hits in that 0. Okay, so this is being read left to right, but bottom to top this time. Okay, so I'm working right here. I'm trying to decide whether this is going to be red or blue. Okay, so red means that it's going to be a hit, and blue means it's going to be a miss. Okay, so I already thought it was going to be a miss, so hopefully this will be a 0 right here. All right, and as I go down, I'll see if there's any other ones that I thought were going to miss. Okay, so I thought that red was going to be a hot area. Okay, so here's a blue one. All right, so how this works is I keep track of every 5 drawings. All right, so here the first 5 drawings were 1 hit, 4 misses. Okay, so I call this red is hot, blue is cold. So H is hot, C is cold. Okay, so how this works is it gets first drawing, second drawing, third drawing. Okay, so this is actually the sixth drawing over here. And I just look at the pattern of things. Okay, so for this drawing right here, I just believe that this is going to be a blue mark right here. All right, mostly because when you look at this area from left to right, you can see that this was red, blue, red, red, blue. So I colored this 3 because it had 3 red marks, and I colored it red because the majority was red. Okay, so for this one, I think for this drawing, I think it's going to be the majority red. Well, it already is red, but I just think that this is going to be a 3 right here. Okay, so if this is going to be a 3, then this area has to be a blue mark, a miss. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original, okay, group 2, and I'll go to number 3, and I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off of the game card. Okay, so it's the 1 and the 38. So the only thing that's left is the 38 area. So I'll eliminate these. And again, I just reduce the numbers off of the game card. Okay, so that's all the numbers I'm going to eliminate off of the game card. So now I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm back in group 1. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to guess which one of these groups will have a hit to it. All right, so for my first one, I'm going to guess that these 2 zeros here will be followed by a red mark, which means a hit. Okay, so I think one of these blue numbers will be coming up in the drawing. All right, so I'm going to go to the game card, and I'm going to see what's left on the game card that matches these blue numbers. Okay, and then I'll write those off to the side. So it's 3, 4, 11, 12. Okay, that whole same pattern. So the first one I have is 11. Okay, so over here you can see that there's nothing. All right, and then I have the 35 and 43. So I'll write those down. And then over here I have the 39 and the 47. Okay, so now I'll go back to group 1 and I'll see what I have left. Okay, so I'll go with number 5 over here, the red areas. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 11, 12, that whole pattern. So I'll see what's left on the game card here. Okay, so the last one I'm going to go with here on group 1 is this option card 15 green. So I'll go to the game card and I'll see what's left with these green numbers, okay? Because I think one of these green numbers will be coming up in the drawing. Okay, so first one is 11, 20, and 27, so I'll write that down. Okay, so I'll look to see what's left here. So I got the 33, 42, 49. So I'll write that down, the 42 and 58 and 68. Okay, so since these since the 58 and the 68 share the square, I have to consider both numbers. Okay, in the last drawing, I thought that this square was going to hit, and I picked the 58, but the 68 came up. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that group 1 and take a look at the orange. So it's 21 and 30 and 37 and 46. So let's see what's left here. Okay, so I got the 30. And I got the 39. Okay, so that's it for group 1. Now I'm going to go to group 2 and look to see what numbers I think that are going to come up. Okay, for now I'm just going to pick numbers out of the red section that I think are going to come up. Okay, so I think it's going to be section 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, and 12. So what I do is I go to the original group 2 here. Okay, so I thought that 3 would be coming up in this red area here. All right, so anything in the 4 and the 37. So here I got the 20 and the 45. Okay, so I'll go back to group 2, and again I thought it was 3, 4, and 5. So here it's the 5 and the 33. So I got the 34 and 35 that's left. Okay, so I'll go back. And then I thought number 5 was going to hit, so somewhere in this ring here. Okay, so I got the 20, 26, 27. Okay, and there was one more here, number 6. I thought was going to hit, so it's the 3, 12, 67 all the way down. Okay, so the 35 and the 67. Okay, so I thought that 7 was going to miss, so 8 red. You can see it's the 5, 16, 21, 31. Okay, so I'll write down the 31. And that's it. Okay, so I believe that 9 was going to come up here as well. Yep, 9, 11, 12, 13. So it's the 128, 15, 22 patterns. Okay. And then thought 10 was going to miss, so 11. Okay, it says 6, 17, 35, 56. So 14, 35, 43, 56. Okay, so I thought it was the 12. You can see this pattern of 5 to the 29 and the 33 to the 57. So it's the 14, 22, 29, 42, 50. Okay, and the last one, you can see it's the 65 to the 28 and the 61 to the 64. So I got the 67 there and the 55. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I think that all these are going to be hits. So I'm going to look at all the numbers here and pick one or 2 numbers out of each one of these rows here, okay? So I think all these are going to be hits, so there should be a number in each one of these. Okay, so that leads me to the last strategy. Strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so to help me pick my numbers, I'm going to go back to the 50-50 picks first. Okay, so I'm going to write down that, remember I wanted more evens than odd numbers. I wanted more high numbers than low numbers. I wanted more numbers to the right side than to the left side. And I wanted more numbers to the blue area than the red area. Okay, so I'm going to just write those down. Okay, so it will be even, high, left, right, more numbers to the right side, and more numbers to the blue area. Okay, so the only way I can make this work over here, okay, with the group 2 numbers is I had to change the majority to odd numbers. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, so the numbers I'm going to go with are 20, 22, 31, 35, and 55. Okay, so you can see that the 20 is orange, 22 is red, 31 is green, 35 is purple, and 55 is green. Okay, so those are the numbers I'm going with. All right, and one last thing. I'm always looking for people to play my game, so instead of charging a fee to play, I'd like to charge a commission for using my system, 1% if you get all 5 white balls correct. You can read the fine print, and if you're interested, you can email me at trm6776@gmail.com. Okay, so again, the numbers I'm going with is 20, 22, 31, 35, and 55. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.